Okay, so, chat, listen up. There is a topic of discussion that has come up for myself for a very long time, right? Before Music Mondays was even really a thing. Let me tweet the stream out as well. Before Music Mondays was even a thing, and back when I was working for other platforms, back when you know, I would work with 29 Club and manage artists over there, and there was always, like, you know, certain artists that had a lot of trouble with social media. And trouble with social media, what do I mean by that, right? And I'm not talking like, you know, like how to like promote on social media or anything like that. Like, they just have trouble getting themselves in the habit of social media. They're in trouble on social media. There's a lot of that. There's a whole lot of that. And you know, I'm not really talking about the people that like stay off socials for like a limited time for like, say, like mental health sake, right? Because we all know that socials can be like really dog shit, right? But one thing that I think people really have a big misconception with is, as an artist and navigating social media, like, where do you draw the line, right? Because I see a lot of people, like, you know, sort of being an artist and promoting their music sometimes, but like their account is like mostly like a casual sort of, for the lack of a better term, like a local kind of account, right? Like, you just use Twitter to retweet a bunch of bullshit. And I think when artists and people like that blur the line and sort of like, you know, almost distract themselves from what they're really on socials for, and then go to turn around and blame socials for being toxic, it's really like the lack of perception here that's like a big deal. Because if you're perceiving social media as this hateful, toxic drag that's such a bitch, algorithms and this and this and this, you know, or, you know, you putting your heart in politics, or, you know, have like strong opinions. And like, don't get me wrong, having strong opinions is fine, you know, because you also, like myself, for example, right? Like, you'll see me talk my shit every once in a while, but like, I'm looking at the people who like do this every day, daily, you know, in and out, and just really like put their emotions and can't really like take a step back and just use socials as a tool. Because for us artists, we're supposed to be the people, whether you create digital art, you make music, anything, right? I don't care if you make fucking macaroni paintings. We're supposed to be the people that people look to for an escape. Whether you're a producer, you're a vocalist, people go to you that are supporters. I'm not talking about your friends, I'm not talking about your artist mutuals, I'm talking about your real supporters that come to you for an escape. You know, like, it's the same thing with streaming. You know, people come to streams to escape and vibe out and listen to music, and, you know, nobody wants to talk about politics. Nobody wants to talk about fucking the problems of the world, you know? And I'm not talking about the people that vent either, you know what I mean? Because I used to be a big venter on social media. That's not what I'm talking about either. But it's the people that are constantly, like, blurring the line of, like, what normal people do on social media and what upcoming artists should be doing on social media. And I really think that's a line that's not talked about enough. Because people always sit back and they're like, dude, like, why can't I do this? And why can't I, like, you know, gain a following? And why does this keep happening? And motherfucker, bro, you hop on social media, Twitter, Instagram, wherever the fuck, and you treat it like everybody else does. You're not everybody else. Treat yourself like an artist, like a creative, and hop on there, do your fucking business, and get off. Stop putting your emotions in that bullshit. And I see that way too much, like way too fucking much. And people use it as like a crutch to be like, yeah, man, I don't like social media and all this, bro. I don't like social media in my fucking balls, dude. Like, brother, that's not how the game is. You know what I mean? It's not 2003 anymore. Like, if you want to find your right audience and you want to find your community and you're an artist who's stuck in a small town and you have no money, what the fuck are you supposed to do? The internet is an open book for a lot of people, and I've seen it change lives overnight. And I've seen it change lives over years. But the misconception that it's anything more than a tool is what's like a lot of people's almost downfall. Because you don't have to treat it as like a professional, because after a certain point, you can pay somebody to run your socials, or you could have a homie do it, or, you know, there's tons of people that do that, right? But you have to do the legwork now. And like all that like mental health rah-rah and all that other bullshit, bro. There's a mute button for a reason. There's a block button for a reason, bro. You can even mute search terms and all this other horse, bro. Get it off your timeline, because we can go scroll my timeline right now, and I guarantee you, there's no politics, there's no crazy shit, bro. 90% of my timeline is my mutual artists, Music Mondays bullshit, and like UFC shit, because they tweet a million times a day. Like, and like you have to curate it in a way where you're consuming positive content, because a lot of these places don't have to be as dreadful as people make them out to be. So in turn, it makes it a lot easier to go on them and post content every day. And you know, I'm not saying, you know, you have to like hop on and you know, spend 8 hours a day on social media, you know what I mean? Because that's also not great. Because like I said from the jump, like, socials aren't exactly the most healthy thing, right? But to sleep on what it does for upcoming artists, digital artists, like bro, I even see the painters and all types of digital artists that don't even have fucking portfolios and shit. Super talented motherfuckers that could be spreading like their artwork and like make a million pieces and just don't make portfolios and shit like that. And if that's not your gig, right, and you're just sort of like doing this for fun, whatever, this conversation isn't for you. But if you're wondering why you can't get any traction, it's like, it's mostly laziness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mostly laziness. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Get your ass on fucking socials, post your shit, be like, hey, I'm talented as fuck, look at me. Go find your community, follow fucking 500 artists that you think fucking would fuck with your shit. Find people, bro. Because believe me, when I kept my head down for Music Mondays, and after the big ass platform that I came from, that sold its shit to the devil, bro, I thought the whole community was dead. You know what I mean? I thought the dream was dead. I thought everything was fucking waxed, right? And then I kept my head down and just kept consistent and just like, cause fuck, man, we got like almost 20 plus submissions tonight, and there was a point I was barely getting 2, literally just 20 episodes ago, which is only 20 weeks. Think about that. So that's what 20 consistent weeks can do if you just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And like Mark said, my block list is so damn long. Like, it's really that simple. You know what I mean? Like, and if, you know, you want to stay mutuals with somebody and they're always tweeting the bullshit, mute them. You don't gotta block everybody. And then if you don't know them, block them. You know what I mean? Like, especially for your own mental health, like, that shit comes first, but you don't sacrifice your career for that shit. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm gonna make this my sandbox. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. Like, no way. No fucking way. So, if that were my artists and they were like, you know, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that, I'd be like, okay, motherfucker, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I'll do it for you. Cause like it's just not something worth missing out on. Believe me, if we're in, you know, the year 3000 and you could, you know, airdrop people fucking, you know, a full album and fucking, you know, a t-shirt and fucking all the futuristic bullshit, like, this might not be a conversation. But for the foreseeable future, it's an internet landscape to almost escape out into the real world. And like, it doesn't have to be such like crabs in a barrel mentality. You know what I mean? Hop on this bitch, show love, post your shit, tweet some bullshit, get your thoughts out, and then get off. You know what I mean? Like, because back to the original point, like, people come to us for an escape. Just like they do streamers, artists, you know? Like, just like making art is an escape. Like, people don't come to you for, you know, controversial opinions or political takes or fucking world events and shit. Like, bro, if they want to go watch the news, they would. And, it fucks the person doing that up too, because they're like, oh, this is so toxic, that's so toxic. Because that's all you focus on, bro. You know what I mean? That's all you focus on. So in turn, that's all you're gonna get. Straight up. So my advice, for sure, if you struggle with socials, mute, block, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. Get yourself on a schedule. A steady content schedule every day. And don't overthink it. You know what I mean? And especially if you're just starting out, you know what I mean? Find some more people. Find, you know, an artist that you like, you know, that, you know, has a little bit more of a following than you, and see, you know, who else likes them. And, you know, it's not hard to start a little network by yourself. So, don't get frustrated, and keep your nose out of the world bullshit. You know what I mean? Leave that to the news outlets. Leave that to the Keemstars. Leave that to the fucking succubus motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, don't entertain that bullshit. I'm telling you. Don't. Because ain't nobody want to see it. You know what I mean? It's just the harsh fucking truth. Because coming from somebody that used to sad tweet all the time, like a lot. Like a lot. Like I was a sad fucking tweeter. Like, you could go ask my old homies. You like, bro, you could go look up some of my sad tweets. Like, but eventually, you know, I stopped, like, you know, like, you have to get certain thoughts out, right? And then, like, you also have to understand that some of those, like, thoughts and, like, energies that you put out to the world, people are going to receive those, and they're gonna be like, damn, this guy's always sad, like, you know what I mean? And, like, you don't want people to always think that you're fucked up, so it's like, it's alright, bro, you know what I mean? Keep your fucking head up, keep your homies close, and use social media in a healthy way. Don't let that shit bully you. Own that shit. You know what I mean? Use that shit like a fucking hammer. Straight up. And hammer yourself to fucking victory, motherfucker. You heard? So, that was the topic of discussion today. Just a little, short topic I really wanted to touch on. Because it's something that not even, like, I've just, like, recently noticed. Like, it's been like something since 2018 that I've seen people struggle with, you know? Private account scream to the void. Right, you know what I mean? Do what you gotta do, like, because that adds on to the point as well, Mark, too, right? Because you don't want to blur the line. Like, people could have, like, an artist account where they talk to, you know, features, mutual artists, and just, you know, bullshit in their artist way. But if you got a rant, if you got a quote, you know, whatever, if you want to talk shit to somebody, bro, go find a private account and go do that shit. You know what I mean? Use it as a local account, you know? Do the shit that locals do. Straight up, you know? Like, because that's just as fine, you know? And that way you don't, like, associate all that other bullshit with something that people, like, perceive to be as, like, an escape, you know? Because it's like, oh, you know, X artist is always talking about, like, fucking, you know, world events and, you know, quoting, like, negative ass tweets and this and this and this. Eventually you're just gonna be like, fuck it, you know? But to each their own, you know what I mean? Because, you gotta get used to it every once in a while. And Rubes, what's good, homie? Welcome. But yeah, you really just gotta get used to that shit, man. And that's my advice, is to just keep your head up, mute and block, and do all that horse shit. And don't associate with anything that isn't art or your own life. You know what I'm saying? MYOB. And it's really that simple, you know. And I have a lot easier time. And like, I think the thing that I struggle with now is just having so much fucking shit to do, and having to do it all the time. You know what I mean? Post on Music Mondays on 4 different accounts. Post on Zomb Slays on 4 different accounts. It definitely does get draining, but do you know how much more draining it would be if I paid attention to the horse shit? You know what I mean? Fuck. So, very important topic. Make sure you stay healthy on socials, man, and stay away from the bullshit. Somebody wants to argue on social media, bro, check them, but don't do all that shit all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Like, you can either just block it out or just, like, stay up to date with, like, whatever relevant shit, but, like, you don't have to be a fucking NPC. And, you know, especially if you're an artist, though, you know what I mean? Like, none of that shit should matter to you, realistically. And, like I said, if it's something that's, like, that important to you, go fucking have a private account, like Mark said. You know what I mean? Private account's the move, you know? Shit, all the homies used to have fences and all that, sort of vibe back in the day, you know? Everybody still does, shit, you know? Fuck me. But, chat, that's that on that, man. And that's how you stay healthy on socials, bro. At least the way I do it. And, how to actually be productive as well, too. You know what I mean? And not, you know, just become a robot and just only post music and shit like that. Because, you know, you want to have some fun and fucking, you know, fucking troll and shit like that. That's fine too, you know what I mean? You just can't fucking, you know, do it all the motherfucking time, you know? Don't overthink shit. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You got the right idea, man. You got the right idea. And, like, fucking mind your own business, too, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people out there, like, not you, chat, but, like, there's a lot of people out there that are way too fucking concerned with other shit, you know what I mean? Like, way too concerned. So,